Before you scroll past another purple profile, listen. This isn't a trend, an aesthetic, or a meme. This is a country begging to be heard, and the movement that every South African, and actually everyone worldwide, needs to know about.
Hey my loves, it's Bella and welcome back to another exclusive Bella Monsoon original production. And I apologize if you can hear my dogs in the background, they are just having the time of their lives, so don't mind them. Truth of the matter is that life has been lifing, cases have been casing, and if you've been on any of my social media lives, you will know that I just needed to take a little break. But something big, nay huge, is currently happening in South Africa right now. And as someone who lives here, who experiences this reality daily, and who creates content to raise awareness about justice, violence, and mental health, I couldn't stay silent. This is exactly the moment that reminds me why I started my YouTube channel in the first place. So let's dive right in and talk about why your entire feed went purple. If you've logged onto any social media platform recently, I'm talking Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, even WhatsApp, you've probably seen profile pictures turn completely purple. I'm talking about literally like everyone, from your local businesses to celebrities like Tyler. You're not imagining it, and you're not late to a trend either. This isn't cute, aesthetic, or even random. This is deliberate. This is a movement, and it was started and is being led by one of South Africa's most respected gender-based violence organizations, Women for Change. They have called for a national silencing of the nation on Friday, the 21st of November, just before the G20 summit. But before I break down the why behind the what, I want to make one thing clear, especially if you are new to my channel and you don't really know who I am or what I do. I am a South African woman. I live in this country. These numbers, these cases, these stories, they are not just content to me. They are my reality. They are the reality for millions of women, children, and vulnerable populations in this country. And this is precisely why the movement is so important. Let's zoom out though. To understand why people are turning their profile pictures purple, you need the backdrop. And the backdrop is heartbreaking, to say the least. If you have watched any of the 70+ episodes I have up on this channel, you will know exactly why I say what I say. Here are the facts that we live with in South Africa. Every single day in this country, 15 women lose their lives to violence. We have one of the world's highest rates of femicide. Absolutely nothing to be proud of. 1 in 3 South African women are almost guaranteed to experience violence in their lifetime. I mean, you have a higher chance of being raped in this country than you do of finding a job. 80% of women, yes, 80, feel unsafe in their own communities. And our most vulnerable population, our children, well, they're not spared either. Up to 30 children have their lives stolen every single week. But it's not just the theft of lives. Sexual offenses also go massively unreported, with only 1 out of 9 cases reaching the police. And why, you may ask? Well, besides the stigma that is still attached to the victim reporting, very few of these reported cases actually result in convictions, which leaves us wondering every single time, where is the justice? This is not normal. This is not acceptable. And this is why women and allies are hurtful. For my non-South Africans, I basically mean sick and tired. This is the war that South African women are living through. This is the fight that organizations like Women for Change and activists like myself are constantly fighting. So why purple? Purple symbolizes dignity, justice, remembrance, and solidarity with victims of gender-based violence. So the idea was quite simple. Turn your profile picture purple and make the silence deafening. You see, the thing is, purple isn't meant to be a pretty aesthetic. Purple is supposed to get you to stop and wonder why, what is going on? Because when people ask why, conversations begin. When conversations begin, awareness spreads. When awareness spreads, pressure builds. And that is how you create a movement. And if you just spend a few minutes looking at the impact that this movement has already had, and I'm not just talking about the financial contributions that amazing organizations like Women for Change and Rape Crisis have received, but I'm talking about the thousands of stories and videos and posts that women have been putting up that showcase their stories of survival, their experiences, and ultimately their solidarity with the movement. There is so much of power in community, and this movement clearly showcases this. So for those of you wondering why now, why all of a sudden, well, besides the fact that organizations like Women for Change have been doing the work for months and years prior to this, the timing is actually quite intentional. As I previously mentioned, it is set to occur just before the G20 summit commences. And for those of you who may not be aware, the G20 summit is an annual meeting of leaders from the world's major economies to discuss global economic cooperation and other pressing challenges. And for the first time in history, the G20 summit will take place on the African continent, in Johannesburg, South Africa, from the 22nd to the 23rd of November. So this movement is a way of saying to our leaders, to other leaders, and to the world that women in South Africa are not being protected. We're not asking for change anymore. We've done that and we've been ignored. This time, we're demanding it. Ultimately, the goal is for the South African government to declare gender-based violence a national disaster. By doing this, it will allow for drastic and immediate action, funding, and support to be put into place. And this is what is ultimately driving the movement and the shutdown. You see, the shutdown on November 21st is not a march. It's not a protest in the traditional sense. It's a mindful act of remembrance and solidarity, a visual representation of a country grieving and refusing to be silenced any longer. It's a reminder that a country without its women cannot function, not economically, not socially, not emotionally. So now that you know the why, here's the how. If you want to get involved no matter where in the world you are, here's how you can do it. First and foremost, change your profile picture to purple. This is perhaps the easiest one to do. It takes a few seconds and it helps to show your solidarity. Next up, join the national shutdown on November 21st. And lastly, and most importantly, sign the petition. The petition is to declare gender-based violence a national disaster in South Africa. You can find it linked in this description. You can find it in the description of all of my social media accounts. You can find it on the Women for Change website. You can find it by typing in Women for Change and change.org. You will find it if you just do a Google search. You can find it in so many places. So please, your voice, your signature, your support means the world. And before I end off, I just want to answer some of the questions I have received most often when I've been posting about this movement. So first and foremost, I'm not from South Africa. Can I still join? And the answer is yes. Gender-based violence is a global issue and we appreciate your solidarity. Next up, can men participate? The answer to this one is a resounding yes, of course. Although this movement was started by women to help women and members of the LGBTQI+ community stand together in solidarity, we appreciate the support of anyone and everyone. Next up, does my profile picture need to be a plain purple block? No, not at all. You can have any gradient, hue, illustration. Honestly, as long as it is the color purple to showcase solidarity with the movement, you're good to go. And the last one, what is the point of lying down? I'm not going to lie, that question kind of hits me hard every single time I read it. And the fact of the matter is that lying down symbolizes the 15 women who lose their lives every single day. It honors every single one of these women and more. It remembers them. And it says, look at what this country would be without us. It is symbolic and intentional. I just want to mention something because I know a lot of people will see this video and a lot of you will be like, Bella, you're back. And I mean, I did say I was back at the beginning of the video, but the truth is I never really left. Although I haven't been posting on YouTube, I've still been doing what I've always done. I've been advocating, educating, standing up for women, and creating content that pushes for real change. Over the past few months, I've dealt with some really heavy cases. I've spoken to distraught family members. I've spoken at events. I've interviewed some of the most vulnerable populations that are forgotten in our country. I've launched campaigns, I've worked on projects, and I've used my platforms and my content to spark conversations. But it's evident that long-form content takes a certain level of emotional capacity. And at some point, you kind of need to step back so that you can stay grounded. But this movement, this moment, what gender-based activists are experiencing in this country right now reminds me why I started my YouTube channel in the first place. It reminds me why I turned my experience, my training, and my knowledge into purpose. This is not performative activism. This is the start of a new revolution. And South African women will no longer be silenced. My last humble request, please do engage and share this video to help more people understand the why behind the what. But until my face pops up on your feed again, stay safe, stay blessed, and stay the amazing human beings that I know each and every single one of you are. Until the next one, Bella out.